All right, y'all. So we all know that content is king. As of 2022, the global content creation market was valued at $13.8 billion. So that means there is money to be made in content creation. And where there's money, there's theft.
My faith rising. I'm crawling out the trenches, holding me. My life.
Hello, visionaries. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maresa Talbert. I'm the founder and CEO of Talbert Law Office, your favorite go-to legal resource for all things business, nonprofit, and intellectual property law. So as you can see from the title, I'm going to give you the lowdown, not if, but when someone steals your digital content, because it will happen. All right, so let's jump right into it. As you all should know, when you create content, whether it's a social media post, website copy, a dance, a poem, an IG reel, a musical composition, a vlog, whatever it may be, that content is protected by copyright law. If you need a refresher on copyright law, check out my video on the difference between a copyright and a trademark. It'll be linked in the description below. But what you should know is that copyright owners have the right to control how their copyrighted works are used. So if a copyright owner sees that their creation is being used in a way that infringes upon their rights, they can request for that content to be removed or taken down. There is a section in the Copyright Act called the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA, and it requires service providers and other online platforms to quickly remove content that infringes upon the copyright of another. This request is known as a DMCA takedown or takedown notice. It is a request made by the copyright owner to an online service provider or an online platform to have material that infringes upon their copyright removed, disabled, or taken down from the website or any other platform where it appears. For a notice to be effective, it must include the following. Number one, either proof or a list of the copyrighted content that you are claiming has been infringed. Number two, evidence of the infringing activity, such as a screenshot or a link to the website where the content is posted. Number three, your contact information as the copyright owner. Number four, a statement that the person who is sending the takedown notice has a good faith belief that the content that they're requesting to be taken down is unauthorized by the copyright owner. Number five, a statement that the person who is sending the takedown notice is either the copyright owner or is authorized to act on behalf of the copyright owner, such as an agent, a representative, or even a lawyer. And number six, the signature of the copyright owner or the person who is sending the notice. If you need to, you can also include in your notice an invoice for the cost of licensing rights for the use of your material. Or you can request that the infringer credit you for the use of the material. If you in fact need a DMCA notice, don't you worry, because I got you. You can click the link in the description box below to go to the TLO marketplace. And you can purchase a template letter that meets the legal requirements for an effective DMCA notice. So once you get your notice all drafted up, who do you send it to, right? So you have some websites, such as Facebook or even Google, that will provide a form to report copyright infringement specific to their website. And that could result in a faster processing time. To find these forms, you can generally search the actual site with the search terms DMCA or copyright infringement. More often than not, the DMCA notice is sent to a service provider. And that could be your internet service provider, such as AT&T or Comcast or even Verizon, or it could be the platform service provider, such as Google or Yahoo or Facebook or Amazon or another entity. You can also send a notice to the owner of the website where you found the infringing content, such as a business or an organization, or you can directly contact the copyright infringer. If you're at a complete loss for who to send your takedown notice to, you can conduct a search at the U.S. Copyright Office's DMCA designated agent database. I'll put a link to it in the description box below. But that database can help you find out who to send your notice to for a registered service provider. So now what happens after you send the notice? Unfortunately, the law does not set a specific deadline for the removal of content. However, the law does require a service provider to act expeditiously to remove the infringing material. Each service provider or web host has its own process for removing content that violates a copyright. You should check a website's legal notices or their terms and conditions to find out what their process looks like for removing infringing content. And that's usually found at the footer of any website. But for example, if you use copyrighted material on a video that you post, YouTube might mute or delete the music, but leave the video up. Facebook will probably remove the copyrighted video from your news feed or your timeline. Twitch, on the other hand, may disable a stream from your channel. The point is, each platform has its own way of handling these types of violations. In any case, the platform or the web host must notify you once the content that you have requested to be removed has actually been taken down or disabled. So let's talk about what if the service provider doesn't actually take down the content that you requested to be removed. So there are two main reasons why you might still see material that you requested to be taken down or removed. The first reason is the material could have been taken down and reposted again. The second reason is that the alleged infringer sent a counter notice requesting that the site repost the content. And I'll discuss that more in my next video. But just generally speaking, when you send a takedown notice, the person who posted the material has the option to dispute your claim that its use is infringing on your copyright. A counter notice may claim fair use, joint ownership, or some other legitimate explanation for countering a takedown notice. If the service provider does receive a counter notice, they legally have between 10 to 14 days to reinstate the content that was taken down, unless you as the copyright owner inform the service provider that you have now filed a lawsuit against this infringer. If the service provider does receive a counter notice, they are required to send you a copy of that notice so that you can decide whether you want to file a lawsuit against the infringer or not. In addition to a DMCA takedown notice option, you can always escalate the matter by filing a lawsuit in federal court or with the Copyright Claims Board. Be mindful, though, that if you file a lawsuit, you must have a registered copyright with the U.S. Copyright Office. A DMCA notice does not require a registered copyright. The Copyright Claims Board is like a small claims court for copyright disputes up to an amount of $30,000. It can be a streamlined and less expensive alternative to federal court. So let's wrap this up. What do you do if someone steals your digital content? Number one, you take screenshots of the stolen content. Number two, you contact the service provider and or the website owner with a DMCA takedown notice to notify them of the unauthorized use. Number three, you contact Google using Google's copyright infringement form so that the unauthorized material does not show up in Google search results. And number four, if you need to send or respond to a DMCA notice, head over to the TLO Marketplace and get your template today. All right, so that was a lot of information, but I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend because you know they need help too. Leave me your questions in the comments. And as always, this is Talbert Law Office, your favorite go-to legal resource for all things business, nonprofit, and intellectual property law. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I done made it this far. I'ma keep it pushing, yeah. Even made it through the